Hello there. A man putting up English flags in his hometown was petrol-bombed. Just think about that for a second. A bloke putting up flags, attacked with fire. That's where we are now in Britain. Ordinary people showing pride in their country are being targeted with violence. And the establishment media can barely be bothered to mention it. Imagine for just a moment if those roles were reversed, if some left-wing activist had been petrol-bombed. Every broadcaster would be running rolling coverage. Every paper would be demanding action. Politicians would be falling over themselves to look outraged. But when it's someone simply raising their nation's flag, silence, shrugs, indifference. And let's be clear, this isn't a one-off. Across the country, councils are under pressure from local communities. People are sick of hotels being converted into migrant hostels. They're sick of being ignored, sick of being treated as if their voices don't count. And as that pressure grows, the far left open borders mob is panicking. Their masks are literally coming out. Covered faces at protests, intimidation tactics, the creeping menace. They know they're losing the public, and violence is all they've got left. Look again at Stevenage, a petrol bomb thrown at people putting up flags. One man left with a deep gash, blood pouring down his face. What if that weapon had functioned properly? We could be talking about fatalities. Surely that's attempted murder, whichever way you cut it. And yet the response from the mainstream press? Barely a whisper. Almost as if they don't want you noticing what's really happening on the ground. Meanwhile, those same masked agitators keep turning up at protests. Their whole aim is to frighten people into staying at home. To make ordinary people feel that standing up for their community isn't worth the risk. But we all know what this is. It's not debate. It's not democracy. It is raw menace. And unless the police stop giving the far left an easy ride, the intimidation will only grow. We've seen this pattern before. Reward violent groups and they come back stronger every single time. And let me say this again, because it matters. Why are face masks even allowed at protests? If you've got a legitimate point, you shouldn't be afraid to show your face. And if someone has a genuine medical condition, fine. But the police should have the power to check identity, to take 2 quick photos, one with mask on and one with mask off, and move on. Less than a minute. That one simple change would knock the wind out of the nastiest troublemakers straight away. And here's where I ask you, don't just watch. Like, subscribe and comment below. And for less than the cost of a pint in London, join the channel membership. You'll get exclusive videos, early access, and you'll help us keep putting this message out there. Go on, you know you want to. And have you noticed something else? Nigel Farage has shifted his ground. Once he said mass deportations weren't possible, but now he's openly floating the idea. And like clockwork, Labour and the Tories shuffle towards his position. They are not leading. They are reacting. They can see where public anger is heading, and they're terrified of being left behind. But here's the truth. Starmer can talk tough all day long. Nobody believes him anymore. His record on the economy, on culture, on borders, it speaks for itself. Nothing he does will stop the boats. In fact, I'll say it now. Next year the crossings will be worse than this year. Unless Britain tears up the international agreements that shackle us, unless we rip up the failed immigration model, nothing will change. The hard left knows this. That's why they fight so viciously. They don't want compromise. They don't want reform. They want to erase borders altogether. They want to dismantle Britain as a sovereign capitalist nation. And Starmer, he may not say it out loud, but he leans firmly in that direction. And that's why Jeremy Corbyn is creeping back onto the stage, dusting off his utopian communist agenda. It's all part of the same push. And let's talk about these so-called clashes. Who's really clashing with the police? Not the far right the media loves to demonise. No, it's the so-called counter-protesters. The far left militants who show up masked, trying to provoke, to intimidate, to bully. Arrests are made, but notice something. Headlines never read left-wing protesters arrested, do they? Funny that, isn't it? Almost like there's a narrative to protect. Here's the reality. Councils are buckling under genuine public pressure. They're reacting because ordinary people are standing up. And that must continue, peacefully, firmly, in every town where these migrant hotels are imposed. Because if the far-left intimidation tactics succeed, then lawful democratic protest will be crushed. And once that happens, Britain as we know it really will be finished. And here's a question the media never asks. Do these hotels all have the right planning permission? Are they safe? Are they properly insured? Or is it all being quietly covered up with a taxpayer-funded government safety net, while private contractors pocket huge profits? Where's the oversight? Where are the inspections? Or have the rules been bent, twisted and ignored to keep the whole rotten system afloat? That's why we cannot back down. Keep asking questions. Keep turning up. Keep raising those flags, literally and metaphorically. Because once ordinary people fall silent, the extremists win, and we cannot let that happen. So, please like, subscribe and share this video, and if you can, support the channel through membership or Patreon. And a huge thank you to those who already do. You keep this going, and together we'll keep shining the light where the mainstream media refuses to. And thank you so much for watching.